Before we get into the main course of today's video, I'd just like to say this is in no way a sponsored video or an endorsement of any kind. Buy whatever filament you want. On the other hand, if you would like your filament to be advertised here on the channel, be sure to contact me on the email linked on my channel page. I don't know why I bothered getting a Christmas tree. I might as well just stack these boxes together. Hello there again. That was a very odd intro, but as you can see, I have invested over £100 in plastic for Lego. This is linked to Lego Star Wars, and we'll get more on that in a second. But whereas most people inaugurate their plastic and their printers with a Benchy, by the way, if you haven't printed a Benchy, I don't know what you're doing. Go right now, pause this video. In fact, open it in a new tab. I don't know how you work your slicing software, and print yourself a Benchy. Although I realize most of you haven't printed a Benchy because you don't own a 3D printer, in which case just continue on with the video. But rather than printing a Benchy for each of these, the reason Benchies are printed is so that you know what the filament's like, you know what the finish is going to be like, you know the temperature, you basically know it can print whatever you want if you can print a Benchy. But rather than printing a Benchy, I decided to print my own Lego minifigure, and you've seen me print minifigures before. You know my printer can do it and that I can do it using Lego's minifigure design. But this is not Lego's minifigure design. And I'd also like to say I'm not going to sell this in any way, shape or form because Lego still somehow own the copyright of the minifigure. It's a little bit dodgy when you read into it, but they do own the copyright, and I've spent all my legal money on filament. So please don't sue me, Lego. But not only do we have the green one, you can see most of the colors here. We have 9 different colors. The 10th one, which is backwards, well, it's too late to change it now, is exactly the same as this grey, which is why it's not been unwrapped. But any of you that have watched my previous custom minifigures will know that I'm making Star Wars customs in the new year. I did 7 different themed minifigures. We did Arcane, we did Nightmare Before Christmas, Transformers, let's see if I can remember the others. We did The Grinch, we did Elf, oh yeah, we did Wednesday, and we did Wicked as well. But 2025 is a brand new year, so we're going to be going over to Star Wars, and I've got so many ideas of characters we haven't even got from Lego, let alone improving the ones we have. For that, I'm going to need a lot of plastic. So all these filaments are, I think it's pronounced just top right of your screen, top left of your screen. And being in the UK, it did really limit where I could get these from, but I've gone with these because these are on cardboard spools. And what with it being the year of the paper bag in Lego, it makes sense to go with cardboard over plastic. Cardboard's so much easier to just break up and recycle compared to the plastic, which takes up a lot of room in your recycling bin. Like I said, there's not really any other reason I chose them besides that and the fact that if you order in bulk, 10 kilograms, I got these for almost 10, I think they were about £11 a piece, which when you're ordering so much is really, really handy. But back to the Lego minifigure. For today's video, I'm trying something else out with the camera, so let me know what you think about what you can see on screen. But you should be able to see this toy soldier who has a replacement arm. This is a minifigure I got from my brother quite some time ago, and I just don't have a spare green arm. Quite easy to order, so eventually I might piece some of these minifigures back together. But I've 3D printed a minifigure arm that actually fits with the official Lego Trooper. This isn't 3D printed. Well, the arm is 3D printed, but the rest of the minifigure isn't 3D printed. This is the official Lego Toy Story toy soldier, which I'd like to see a few more themes like that from Disney rather than just strictly Disney princesses, because I feel like we definitely could have at least got one Lion King set considering its popularity. Anyway, I digress. This arm has been 3D printed and it works with a Lego minifigure. Same with the heads, the torsos, unchanged from last time. So how have I designed this minifigure if I've just used existing parts? And the reason I have designed them is because of this hand does not move. The Lego hand does spin, you can rotate it, it can hold other things. If I get one of these arms, I've printed this for this purpose. I'm not just breaking one of my elements, but if I take this element and then I twist this hand, first off, it's very hard to do. You don't normally see me struggling behind the camera when I'm doing this. Let me try and twist it, perhaps using this bar element because of the laws of physics and using torque to my advantage. If I twist this hand, this was meant to come off so easy. You can see that the hand does begin to pull away. Okay, it's a bit wonky at the minute. You can see the hand is no longer in its straight orientation. It's meant to be pointing upwards. It's now onto the side. First off, I didn't realize how strong these were. You can get away with perhaps positioning them one time. It should have snapped off. And it was very similar with the legs for my last custom minifigures. They were just solid. I put them together in something like Studio, and then I printed that solid, standing or sitting, depending on what the minifigure needs. But this green minifigure has posable legs, and there probably is a way you can print the Lego joint using a 3D printer, but it is too small for this sort of camera to pick up. So how have I made it possible that I can now bend the legs? We'll put the toy soldier, in fact, we'll put them to the side for now. But how is it possible that I've made legs that are not only posable, but posable in the same range of motion that a Lego minifigure's legs are? You can even put them slightly back. And the answer behind it is the bar element we just used to try and twist the Lego minifigure's hand. And I think this is genuinely a really big, mind-blowing moment for me here with Lego and 3D printing, because I've replaced the Lego connection. Let me get a real Lego. Because I have replaced the leg connection on a Lego minifigure, which is this round piece here. This will not fit on my 3D printed one, because I've replaced that small little micro bar with an actual Lego bar, which is like 3.18 millimeters, something like that, in diameter. So theoretically speaking, we could connect a whole range of bar elements to these legs, not only for characters like Darth Maul. There was something similar that Lego did for the Clone Wars Darth Maul, but also for characters like Saw Gerrera. We've got any number of pirates over in other Lego themes. And it's so much easier because they use that common bar element. It's going to be present in all my custom minifigures because it allows for the legs of my customs to be interchangeable, not with official Lego minifigures, but with each other a lot easier. And you can swap around legs. Perhaps one character, I'm not trying to wish anything on anyone in Skeleton Crew, but perhaps one character has a leg injury and it needs to be modified. I'm unable to do that and would have to print the whole lower body with the old style of minifigures, whereas now not only can I adjust things like that, but I can also position them like they are walking. Most minifigures, I don't know how you stole your hands. The only reason I twist minifigure hands is to get two minifigures next to each other, and even then you can just bend one of the arms a bit further backwards and stand two next to each other. There's no real reason you'll need to bend the hands apart from positioning the lightsaber in a certain way for certain fight sequences. But even then, most lightsabers are held with the top pointing up, with the exception of like Kenobi and Ahsoka. Even Ahsoka holds it in reverse grip. So for customs and for odd little specific background characters that Lego haven't made, I'm not fussed about the hands and arms. That being said, if you know how I can fix up Lego arms and hands using a similar thing to what I've done for the legs, feel free to give it a go yourself. Not only have I created the Green Man, as I said, I've got 9 different shades of filament. So we have a minifigure in red. We also have a minifigure in blue. You've got to have these classic colors like red, green, blue, and yellow. Of course, these are looking really, really cool, but I didn't stop there. I also have an orange filament. We then have our classic. So we've got our white and our black. And then we've got a grey, which is spelt with an A. So I'm sure this is some sort of American filament, because over here in the UK, we spell grey with an E, which makes it so hard to find grey elements over on Bricklink, where they mostly use an A, despite Lego actually being on the Europe side of the water. So I wonder why that is. And then we have what Eligu title as Space Grey, which is a darker grey, I think, unless I've got that the other way around. But Space Grey is dark bluish grey, grey is light bluish grey. They're not very blue, but they all do match up pretty closely to their official Lego colours. I have paired these quite well, with one exception being green. I'm not quite sure if there is a bright Lego green. There might be outside of the 2x4 bricks. I don't own any bricks of that colour, and that's the easiest way to tell the difference between the two. But hopefully I can find a few other colours. I'm looking for a dark red. I'm looking for a dark blue. We could definitely use a few pinks, purples, those sort of colors, and we're going to have to explore into tans, especially if we want to make a few custom Star Wars minifigures. But I'm really excited for the future of customs on this channel now that I've got what I'd consider a perfect printable minifigure, which allows me to go outside of Lego elements. These aren't replacing Lego. It'd be a lot better for my bank account if they were replacing Lego. But these are a substitute for parts that Lego haven't quite made, especially when it comes to dual and triple molded elements. And if you have watched any of my Moldy Makes videos, chances are you've probably seen a few of the custom elements we've created, like Buddy's hat, like different modifications we've made to create a long skirt piece, which differs quite a bit to the short skirt or the longer dress slope they use for characters like Dumbledore. And on top of this, being able to work these into the official Lego designs is really, really fun. I cannot wait to see what Star Wars mock minifigures we make this year. I'm sure there'll be a compilation at the end of the year. If you are coming back from far off into the future, and again, subscribe if you do not want to miss out. Drop a like if you are as excited as I about these early Star Wars customs, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks you'll see these videos start to roll out. So that is my designed minifigure. We've only changed the hip piece and I guess a little bit of the legs, but the stud connectors are still the same. As you've seen, they can hold bars, they can actually stand on bricks, which might be worth demonstrating on camera, because I know in the past with the Moldy Makes we've had a few issues with that. But as you can see, the brick is not going anywhere, and well, at least we know they don't break when I drop them. And also the brand new camera angle that you spent most of your video staring at. Should it stay? Should it go? Do you prefer just staring at the Lego or myself? Or would you like me to incorporate some sort of split design? Leave your answers down in the comments and let me know what Star Wars minifigures you think I should create first. I already have a list, but I am very much open to extra suggestions, especially if it means I can make more minifigures. It's going to get pretty heavy close to May time. But that is all for today's update. We've got brand new legs and custom minifigures are more than well on the way. Are you excited? Drop a like if you are. Check out the other videos on screen now, and may the bricks be with you always.